You guys want to play Doom?
Few words hold such oppressive weight as the word Doom. A word with so many meanings and so many different types of realities to it that anybody who hears it thinks of the end. But there's one such game that holds such promise to let you weaponize it, such as Doom, made by ID Software in 1993. A game where you weren't being the one in danger, you were the danger. Where you're not the one who is doomed. The ones who are stuck in the room with you are. It was very much worth its title. Prior to this game, Doom was a scary prospect. In fact, overnight it became such a household name, it even disturbed the workplace in so many different places. At one point, it was installed more on computers than Microsoft Windows. It was a phenomenon, and I think we all know why. Doom was an exhilarating and challenging burst of creativity and excitement, and excelled at forcing the player's hand and thrusting them into the action. But Doom wasn't just about weaponizing its namesake for players. Conquering Doom can be challenging, and it comes in many forms. From its dark corridors to puzzling layouts and daunting dangers, and most of all, the enemies. It was far more than what level designer Sandy Peterson once called the game of whack-a-mole. But the developers wanted to create an experience of riding through hell so unforgettable. This is a constant in the Doom series. The developers and the designers looking for so many different ways to mess you up on your runs. You have to keep track of your weapons, armor, ammo, health, and try to navigate through a labyrinth of different doors and different types of enemies. And most importantly, you have to make sure the demons fear you. In this video, we're going to be talking about every main entry and what I love about them and what I find genius about them. From gameplay mechanics to humble beginnings, we are going to be just talking about everything Doom. But as I do, my name is Red SavePoint, and welcome to the Doom Retrospective. After prototyping a 3D engine in the early 90s, id Software released Wolfenstein 3D in 1992. And with it came major innovations in real-time rendering technology and game design. Designer John Cormack designed one of the very first-person shooters ever made. This would allow Wolfenstein and other 3D first-person shooters to run smoothly on PCs much easier, while the rest of the team used this engine to create the action game that we all know and love today. Inspired by the early 80s DOS game Castle Wolfenstein, they built a game that was all about navigating mazes and killing enemies. It was a fast-paced shooter that nobody else in the industry was able to do at that time. The overall speed of the engine created a seamless run of gameplay that everybody enjoyed back in the day. A lot of Wolfenstein 3D's levels are made up of rooms of equal height. I know this is going to be a weird comparison, but think of them as the first dungeon in Legend of Zelda. Rooms that were connected to each other and spread across a single floor, with key puzzles that separate each type of room. But you can see all the many inspirations from Wolfenstein into today's title, Doom. id Software created something magical with Doom. They poured literal blood, sweat, and tears into Doom's engine, creating a masterpiece of gameplay and replayability. Even to the point where they were using claymation for some of the enemy designs. And the famously known John Romero was creating such complex levels that are still famous to this day and even referenced in other games. Then, midnight, December 10th, 1993. The first episode of Doom was uploaded to the internet as shareware, with the full game available for people to purchase directly from id Software if they wanted to continue playing. And, well, you know the rest. The game is 33 years old at this point. And in my opinion, it holds up pretty well. Nah, it doesn't just hold up. it kicks fucking ass. It's crucial to the history of video games and history of media ever made. Hell, the objective of the game is just so simple as well. Just kill demons, find secrets, and have fun doing it. Let's go ahead and talk about exactly what makes Doom such an important title and why you should play it today. From the amazing load times to the amazing frame rate, and the fact that you can literally almost play it on anything. You can explore the many labyrinths of Doom on any device if you want to. I'm not going to talk about exactly what can and what cannot run Doom. There are many videos that talk about that. For what I'm talking about is the accessibility of Doom. Most people can experience Doom on any home console, from Nintendo Switch to PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 4, 5, even modern consoles. It's one of the most accessible games on the planet. Doom, in the beginning, lets you know exactly what you want while playing the game. Take out demons, kill shit, maybe even explore some levels. When you first start walking inside the first level of Doom, you'll notice many different things. From the amazing soundtrack to maybe even this button on the wall, you're able to find secrets and explore the levels equally. Even though the first level of Doom might be a little bare bones, it's a cornerstone of exactly how every Doom level is supposed to be. From the secrets to the enemies that you fight, you know exactly what you're getting into after you play the first level. And one of the most important details of any Doom game is the fact that you need to check every nook and cranny. Exploration is heavily rewarded inside of Doom. As you explore, you'll find medkits, armor that will upgrade your health and also give you more defense. Hell, maybe even find some new weapons to help keep you away from the demon army. And on repeat, you'll be able to experience exactly fully what Doom can offer and give you an edge in battle. One of the more important features into the game is the fact of keycards. When you explore, you'll find little keycards on the ground, mostly red, yellow, or blue, that locks you out of certain areas into the game. Most of the time, you're going to have to explore and find these keycards to even make progress in the game. The game is filled with different types of puzzles and environmental puzzles as well. And the best advice that I can give any player is the fact that if you stand still, you will die. Even in boss fights, and even the most subtle enemies, you will have to move around as fast as you can while you shoot down hordes of demons along your way. Even a few hits could probably bring down your run, where you would have to return back to the beginning of the level and try again, but this time, you only have a pistol. Doom's combat charges that almost primal instinct of shoot anything that moves and don't ask questions. But at the same time, it almost feels methodical, where you'll have to pick the right tool for the right job for even the right enemies. Every single Doom game is pretty much almost like this. You need keycards to find new areas, you need health pickups, to even the fact that every weapon counts, and that if you don't move fast enough, you will die. It's a pretty engaging loop. Even today, it still feels fresh and it doesn't get old. But in reality of the gameplay, it's either you or the demons. And most of the time, if you get hit, that's on you. And next time, go find health items, armor, or even better weapons to help fight the demons easier. Then, after Doom's extreme popularity, came the mods and the WADs. id Software created an engine that was free for everyone to use. Over time, everybody started creating little mini-games for Doom 1 and Doom 2. From the Metroid mod to even Brutal Doom, players were given the chance to create their own whole games while using Doom 1 and Doom 2's engine. Brutal Doom being the best example, where it recreates the whole game in Doom 2016's Brutal engine, letting you and other players brutally demolish enemies along your way. But even with the mods, id Software created a sequel of Doom with Doom 2. Even though it doesn't feel like a sequel, it's more of a cross between, kind of like an extension More levels, more weapons, and even more demons to kill and fight. But after these two games were created, Doom became a household name. Everybody knew Doom. Your mom knew Doom, the government knew Doom, everybody even played Doom at one point. Without even a question, Doom became one of the most impactful games in the gaming industry. Without it, we wouldn't even have so many games like Call of Duty or even still today, Wolfenstein. It's one of the most impactful games ever made, and trust me, after you play it a few times, you never stop playing it. It's a beautifully done game, and so far, it's one of the best games ever made. And if you ask me, it's actually one of my favorites. I've been playing Doom since, hell, even as young as I remember, probably around 2005. It was one of the very first games that I ever played. My dad bringing home one of them old PCs to let me play on it. But after the hype of so many years, competition started to grow in other places. More companies wanted to be like Doom. Which brings us to our next section. Quake was id Software's first 3D game ever made. Completed with jumping, 360 degrees of vision, and multi-layered levels that weren't even possible in the original two Doom games. It carried an unsettling yet unmissable atmosphere that even seasoned Doom players will notice. And at this point, most studios who ever tried to copy Doom was considered a Doom clone. Quake literally changed everything in first-person shooters. In fact, it was actually the first ever game to receive the term first-person shooter. But as the years went by, other studios tried to constantly find new ways to create shooters for players. One of the biggest examples I can give is Half-Life. It carried through to the end with scripted sequences, breathing life into the Black Mesa Research Center, and the Residence Cascade that started it all. The game was seamless and everything was in control right in front of you. And unlike other shooters, Half-Life made you search around for solutions, from puzzles to even combat situations. Then after Half-Life came Halo Combat Evolved. This game demonstrated how discretely linear shooters can differentiate against different types of games. With different types of encounters and colossal enemy bases that most players don't even encounter in most playthroughs of the game, Halo combated something else in the first-person genre. And most importantly, the gameplay. When you use weapons in Halo, it consistently reminds me of Doom. From the high combat encounters to even the smallest battles, you want to fight other enemies to get the even better weapons so that you can be better in combat situations. Even though sometimes the game was consistently linear, it made sure to ask the players who were playing it consistently to be careful and to just have fun while playing it. The sequels did it even better, like Halo 3 and Halo Reach, but Half-Life came back with another little bit of an updated version that even tried to fix some of its problems when it first came out. id Software began to have a run for its money after Half-Life 2 began to storm shelves on PCs. Even Microsoft was given ID for a run for its money with Halo 2. So during this time of first-person history, id Software had to come up with something quick and fast to get players to play Doom once more. And with just that, they created another game, Doom 3. Doom 3 was met with a lot of poor reception. id Software tried to take too much of what Doom was all about and make it modern, with strong resemblance to Halo and Half-Life as well. But this game was important to the rest of Doom's history and legacy. id Software made mistakes while developing this game. Mistakes that the future of id Software's employees would take into account with the rest of the games on this list. The game does a lot like what Half-Life does. You enjoy your first day until hell starts walking into the facility and you must escape it, forcing you to trek the halls of the facility in wondrous horrors. There's a lot of physics in this game, a lot of weird things you can interact with, like this turkey puncher game. But the beginning of this game shows off a lot of technical prowess of the engine, including lighting and physics. The lighting can proudly accompany any mood the designers want to set, including nightmarish sequence or tearing down demons with your guns. And don't forget about the shadows. The shadows are so strong, in fact, that they're actually part of the game's design, much like how it was in the original Doom. Let me give you an example. Look at this gameplay here. The game is so dark that you need to use a flashlight in order to explore certain areas. And while exploring, you might see things that you don't want to see, just like with this zombie here. Doom 3 does things a lot differently than other first-person shooters, by making it to where instead of a shooter at first, it is a survival horror game by trade. This game keeps you on your toes. It makes you want to check corners and find secret items, with a little bit of everything from the original Doom games and Resident Evil 2 to keep you on your toes. Your starting weapons are intentionally underpowered to make you feel weak against the creatures that you're facing in this game. The pistol and shotgun being the most recognizable for most of the people's playthrough, especially since infamously, they are not that good. As for your enemies, most of them take a few shots to kill them. Realistically, it takes a whole mag to really kill them. See through my gameplay here, it is aggressive and aggravating how much it takes to kill an enemy. But at the same time, it kind of fits it. I like the fact that in most of the time, it takes a whole while to kill an enemy. It keeps you on your toes and makes you wonder if the battle is really going to end, which adds more to that horror aspect of the game, which encourages the player to go around and explore more to find even better weapons and ammo so that you can toughen up through these more difficult enemies. The best way to experience Doom 3 is actually with the BFG edition of the game. But to be honest, it tears down a lot of the horror by making you wear the flashlight on your shirt instead of holding it with your hands, which removes that horror factor a lot. Because to be honest, I like the idea of you holding the flashlight to make things a little bit more scarier while you're in the hallways lurking around for extra items and accidentally get jump scared by a couple of enemies hiding in the dark. But to be honest, a lot of the levels feel kind of samey. The best part of the game is actually the hell levels, which you can see right here. A lot of them are awesomely designed and have great designs behind them. I 100% believe that Doom 3 is very underrated. As a survival horror game, it definitely has its quirks and kind of its debuffs. But as a survival horror YouTube channel myself, I definitely see some of the beauty behind it. From the mistakes that the developers made while making it, to some of the quirks that people actually did enjoy with the game. I definitely say I recommend it, but now, let's talk about our next game here, real quick. Doom 64. Released by Midway Games in 1997, that's right, it was not made by ID Software. Doom 64 was another horrifying take on the core gameplay of Doom. Its enemies were powerful, and the lighting was consistent. It was some of the most amazing stuff that you can get on an N64 game back then. The game's art direction and setting offered anything but comfort, and sometimes the level design feels like a demon is coming to suck the life out of the player. And as you're exploring this amazing labyrinth, demons storm through the halls, and it's the strongest that we ever seen them yet. The game itself trying its hardest to crush you under the weight of its winding labyrinths and brutal combat. And while you're trying to survive this amazing game's combat, the atmosphere doesn't give you much hope or pushback either. It is unnerving to say the least, because you're walking through abandoned castles and cities in hell. And for a lot of fans, Doom 64 is unconditionally the official Doom 3. From its amazing aspects of horror to the amazing world building in its environment, Doom 64 has one of the best horror aspects of the game. And it does best without compromising anything with its DNA. It doesn't try to be a Half-Life or a Halo. It's still Doom. You still get that Doom feeling while facing horrific environments and horrific enemies. And most importantly, it's not a perfect Doom game. It dampers its effectiveness as you inch closer to the end of the game. These levels are well designed, but it just becomes harder to appreciate them later on as most of them start becoming samey after a long while. It's easy to draw comparisons to Doom 64 to Quake. Quake accomplished a lot of similar things to Doom 64, but Doom 64 is still an impressive game. Actually, it's not just impressive, and to be honest, it's still one of the best games in the series. But one of those people who've played this game was Hugo Martin. We'll discuss about him later, him being one of the most important people in Doom's lineup. Doom 64 was his first Doom game. He would take the lessons that he learned while playing Doom 64 and reintroduce them to the world in Doom 2016, which we will discuss later. Let's get right into it. Doom 4 was later retitled as just boldly Doom. It received standing ovation at QuakeCon 2014 from fans of older Doom titles, before finally showing up in public in E3 2015. And as a fan back then, I was excited. From the glory kills to the many different enemies we were going to be able to fight, I couldn't wait to finally play the new Doom game. But then all we could do was just wait until the game came out. A year later, it did come out. During this time, I first got my PlayStation 4 just to get the new Doom game. But I didn't have enough to buy it just yet, so I saved up as much as I could to buy Doom 2016. And let me just say, even still to this day, this game is good. It's real good. In fact, it kicks so much ass. And then after playing it so many times, I beat it. Then I beat it again. Then I beat it again and got all the collectibles and trophies. Then I beat it even more times. Needless to say, they nailed it. They were able to bring back the old Doom that everybody known and loved. And let's just say, it was perfect. When beginning the game starts you off in this coffin state. And it takes no damn time to show you the ropes, and it's very effective. Then you get your suit, you look at your helmet, clean it up a little bit, and then you're on your way. The game wastes no time to give you as much lore and as much gameplay as possible, giving you as much playability just like the older games. The game's introduction holds so strongly today because it just lets you rip. Immediately after escaping your immortal tomb, you're able to rip and tear until it is done. Nothing can stand in your way. In fact, this game makes you feel like a beast. The team understood exactly what to do. They knew that if they were going to win their players back, they had to make a good first impression after making a game after so many years. The game's tone is also heavily amazing by giving you the ability to understand exactly what you need to do inside. In fact, your main character doesn't even give two shits exactly what people think. He'll rip guns right out of dead soldiers' hands and just keep fighting forward. Unlike in older Doom games where you just got your gun and you just moved along, showing no emotion of what your character can do. Now, let's talk about combat. It is the best part of Doom 2016. Every gun feels solid, every kill feels effective, and every glory kill feels gory as hell. You will feel like a beast while playing Doom 2016. As you can see from this early test footage, you were able to do this way back then. They were trying to do this all the way back in between schedule times. And it is just so effective. It gives this player an overstanding so much. It makes you feel like you are a monster. And that's what's great about Doom 2016. It provides some of the best gameplay I can ever recommend in a Doom game. I mean, you are just zooming around, you're knocking shit, you're tearing things apart. You will love this game if you do love Doom. Trust me. And every glory kill just feels so fascinating. I will have to say, I have to give massive kudos to Doom 2016's animation director. I don't know his name, but one day I will look it up. But he or she did a fantastic job giving us the animations of these glory kills, because everybody just feels like Play-Doh. I can rip them in half like they're nothing. But they're not here just to be flashy. Every time you perform a glory kill, you will be paid back with health points, or sometimes even different kinds of animations. And of course, we will not forget, the amazing animations again, I will have to say. I can't stop saying it. Doom 2016 was a wild ride. It provided so many players, new and old, with Doom. Old, new fans brung together with Doom. Everybody loved Doom at this point. Everybody was playing it. And it brought back that feeling, just like the older Doom games, that everybody knew and loved. Again, if you have not played Doom 2016 all the way through, or not at all, definitely play it. It gives off both that horror aspect from Doom 3 while also giving players that wonderful feeling, just like everything else. It's so good and perfect. I definitely recommend it for people. So if you have the time, please pick it up. It's so good. But as we get to the end of this video, I will have to say, I'm going to be covering Doom Eternal onto a later part. I feel that game alone deserves its own retrospective for how big and how immersive it is. But this is only part 1 of the retrospective. Later on, I will do Doom Eternal. The reason why I wanted to make this retrospective was because of how important Doom is to me. It's my favorite game, and it was my favorite childhood game ever made. And I know a lot of people have been waiting for a video longer than usually 30 minutes, but so far, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. But hey, if you have enjoyed the video, let me know exactly what other kind of games you want me to talk about or topics you want me to talk about. I will be doing more retrospectives. Also, I hope all of you have a great day, and thank you for joining me on this first part of our retrospective journey.
Hail the coming of the Destroyer. The Slayer's time is now.